So I have ADHD, right? And basically this kind of like mental disorder, whatever you're supposed to call it, I don't know, has really caused me to be just generally an unproductive person, right? For most of my life, as far as I can remember, I've struggled with getting my work done and being productive and staying on task and concentrating and actually doing what I know I need to do. And the main reason for that was that I had ADHD, and it was difficult for me to stay on task, and I kept thinking about other things. There was so much going on in my head, and I couldn't really concentrate. But I would have days where I was super locked in, super dialed. Like I could not be, nothing could distract me, nothing could bother me. I was just 100% focused on the work I was doing. And it hit me that there's a way that I could have that day every day. And I sort of started to discover productivity tactics, and with experimenting and being mindful of what I'm doing in my daily life and things like that, I've been able to understand what will make me more productive and what will make me less productive. These certain actions, these certain steps that I'm able to take now in my daily life that will ensure productivity. And I've sort of laid this out in sort of a guideline, and I'll also talk about the way you can undo the damage that some of these habits will do to you. Like, so certain habits will make you less productive during the day, but there's ways you can undo that damage and basically make it so that it'll be like that you never really did that habit. Now, the first tip to be more productive is, I did this myself today, I'm not going to lie to you, is scrolling. Scrolling on social media is probably one of the worst things you can do to like make you productive, especially when you do it early in the day, early in the morning. Because I'll be honest, I woke up this morning and one of the first things I did was get on my phone and start scrolling. And, you know, it's not a good thing, obviously. And because I did that, that made me have less mindfulness throughout the day. And I would catch myself, I'd be working on a task, and my mind would start to wander, and I'd click on YouTube and start watching a YouTube video that had absolutely nothing to do with the work I was doing. It was actually like ridiculous, and I could have gotten my work done so much faster today if I hadn't done that. Now, the other thing that will make you much more productive, and sorry, I keep getting distracted here because I just found a tick on me, and I've been trying to squish it while talking. And yeah, it's dead now. Where was I? Yeah, so scrolling on social media, the reason this really destroys your productivity is it destroys your mindfulness, it destroys your focus and your awareness, right? So I've talked a lot about on this channel about meditation, and meditation is basically the opposite of scrolling, right? So meditating is when you put 100% of your focus into something that is boring, right? Usually it's your breath. You focus 100% on your breath. And when your mind wanders, which you inevitably will do because focusing on your breath is very boring, you just bring your focus back to the breath, and you keep doing that over and over again. Every time you bring your focus back, it's like a repetition. It's like a rep in the gym. You're getting stronger and you're getting better at being mindful and being aware of your thoughts. And this has so many effects, but when it comes to productivity, this allows you to become aware of when your mind starts to wander, when your mind becomes distracted from the task, and it allows you to bring your focus back to the task, right? You're basically undoing what social media does, because what social media does is it makes your mind, it trains your brain to become less aware of when your mind wanders. Because when you're scrolling, right, you're going from one piece of content, and then with one swipe up, you're going to a completely different piece of content. You're literally making your mind, you're training your brain to have a shorter attention span, because you're able to move from piece of content to piece of content over and over again like that, right? Jeez. So, I'm recording this on a tree stump, and my cat just climbed it and started attacking my phone. Man, this video keeps getting interrupted. But yeah, you're destroying your ability to concentrate. You're destroying your ability to actually be productive every single time you scroll. When you're watching this YouTube video and you scroll down in the comments or you scroll down the other suggested videos on the side, you are destroying your attention span. You are making yourself less productive. And today I noticed that I became less productive because I was less mindful, because I was watching YouTube videos all morning, right? That really, really hurt my productivity. And now I also just talked about how you can undo it. So in this, how I was able to sort of reset this, how I was able to sort of become more productive today. And I'm still not at 100% today. I'm still not 100% mindful. You notice I keep getting distracted by things around me. But the way I was able to sort of undo this is literally just spend about 15 minutes literally doing nothing. I'm not even kidding. Sit down or lay down, whatever you want to do, and just do nothing. Don't go on your phone. Don't watch TV. Don't look around. Don't draw a picture. Don't do anything. Don't even write in your journal. Don't do nothing. Just sit down and stare off into space. And that's how you're able to reset. Right? That's how you're able to become more productive and undo the challenges. You can just sit down and stare off into space, or you can meditate. And meditation is probably better, but today I just decided to do the stare off into space method. Yes, just sit down and just breathe deeply, and put 100% concentration into that breath. And that is how you can undo the damage that social media does. And if you don't believe me, just try it out, right? If you've been scrolling for a while and you're in this kind of sort of funk of like not feeling super productive, turn this video off and really just sit down and just meditate and just focus on your breath. Train your brain to actually concentrate, to actually be able to be productive and focus on the world around you. The next bonus tip is your routine and your diet. If you can get certain times in your day that is designated for productivity, that is designated for you to like sit down and work, that will drastically transform your productivity. Because think about it, right? If you have times in your day that you know you need to do work, like you know throughout the day that you have to do this specific task, but you never set aside a specific time for it, you're just going to end up putting it off, procrastinating, and the next thing you know, it's the end of the day and you're tired and you're unmotivated because you've been scrolling all day, right? And you just can't bring yourself to do that task. But if you set a specific time, like, okay, today at 11:30, I am going to do X, right? Then once 11:30 rolls around, guess what you're going to do? You're going to do X. You're going to do that task, right? And if you don't do that task, you're going to feel bad. And then next chance you get, you're going to do that task. You're going to be done procrastinating, right? That's actually, like, for me, procrastination is a big issue, especially with my ADHD and being distracted and getting sidetracked. Setting aside a block of time to do something has transformed my productivity unbelievably so. This is probably one of the most important things to being productive, is having a schedule of when you're going to do certain things, right? And the last point that I'm going to talk about before I get out of here, by the way, if you've made it this far in the video, good job, basically, because this is a long form video. This is very boring. There's zero editing. Probably the most exciting part of this video is when my cat knocked the phone over. So good for you for watching this video and having the attention span to watch this video all the way through. The last point is get your diet in check. Now, there's a lot of weird information going around about diet, and there's a lot of controversy about diet and what's actually healthy, what's actually not. And as someone who tries to take their health pretty seriously, I highly, highly recommend that you basically experiment with the kinds of foods you eat, because a lot of people are sensitive to carbs. And I believe it was Hamza who talks a lot about this on his YouTube channel, and that is that carbs can cause a lot of brain fog. And depending on the type of person you are, will really sort of depend on how much these like carbohydrates can affect your brain fog. For me, it doesn't affect me too much, but it does have some effect on my ability to be mindful and actually be productive and focus. So I highly recommend that you just kind of experiment, right? Maybe one day don't eat carbs for the whole day and just see how your mind responds. See if your mind is sharper, or some people it might be more foggy if they don't eat carbs the whole day. It depends on the person, right? But I highly recommend that you just try it out. Experiment with different diets. Experiment with no sugar. Experiment with no meat. Experiment with just meat. Experiment with no carbs. Just see how your body feels, because everybody's different. Everyone's meant for a slightly different diet, right? Everybody needs slightly different nutrients. And so just experiment, play around, see what works best for you. And that will make you a dramatically more productive and also probably healthier person, right? So basically, don't scroll. If you do scroll a lot, undo the damage by meditating and being more mindful. Get your diet in check and get your routine in check. And that is literally, those are the 4 best things you can possibly do for your productivity. That's all I got for today. May God bless you and stay wild.